Welcome along to the final day of the British Flat Turf season. It's Qipco British Champions Day, live from Ascot this Saturday on ITV. 6 top quality races, 4 Group 1s, a Group 2 and a competitive handicap to get stuck into. Myself and Jack here to preview all of the action. Jack now out in Hong Kong, filming at ridiculous hours at this moment in time, but that's the way we do things. We are committed to bringing you previews. Jack, first of all, how are things out there in Hong Kong with yourself, and how much are you looking forward to watching the action at Ascot on Saturday?
Yeah, things are fantastic. It's some place, it really is. I mean, the facilities and the infrastructure here is just different gravy. Managed to see Golden 60 working midweek as well, which is quite a pinch me moment. So yeah, it's absolutely fantastic over here. I'm really looking forward to getting stuck into Ascot as well. I'll be staying up late and trying to watch the rugby as well, but it means I probably won't be getting too much sleep. But hey ho, what we do for the game we love, Sam?
Absolutely. And last week we had a little chat on the preview about kind of the future of next gen, how things are going to work. Now, what Jack and I have decided is we are going to still be bringing you YouTube videos. These are going to come for any big meetings in the UK. Both flat and jumps meetings, we'll be covering them. But not every weekend we'll have a weekend preview. But the weekends we won't have a weekend preview, you'll see a 2-minute video from both of us on our social media pages. You can go onto Twitter and you'll be able to get our probably nap and next best each week for the weekend. So just quickly, leading up to the new year, we're going to have this preview here, the Champions Day preview. We've got the Breeders' Cup preview coming up in a couple of weeks. We've then got the November meeting at Cheltenham we're going to be getting stuck into, the Tingle Creek Festival, and then we'll have our Christmas Racing Festival. And we'll obviously update you what's going to happen in the new year with regards to the schedule come Christmas time. So that's the way we're going to work moving forward, so we will still be here for all the big races. Let's move into the action, and like I say, 6 great races to get stuck into, and the 1:15 is where we start, which is the Qipco British Champions Long Distance Cup, a Group 2 over 2 miles, where Kyprios tops the market, well backed over the last few weeks. 11-8 favourite. Trushan is 15-8. Coltrane 15-2. Sweet William 10-1. Trawlerman is 20-1. Broome is 40s and 100-1 about Stratum and Maxident. Now, one thing I was messaging Jack at the silly hours of clock in the morning yesterday was he was asking what the rain was like over here, and obviously we've had this storm coming over in the UK which has just left rain absolutely everywhere. There's question marks. Some people are even questioning whether the meeting will go ahead, but there's questions what course this is going to be run over. Jack, it's obviously, with regards to study for this meeting, changed a lot of things for yourself, but who do you like in this?
Yeah, no, it's still a cracking race. I mean, luckily I've been following kind of everything up to last week, and even this week it was nice to see the Persian War from, I think I was actually mid-air when I was trying to watch it anyway, but I watched a replay when I landed. But no, it's an interesting race. I can't back Kyprios at 11-8. I think he's far too short. Look, he was a world beater last year, but he was beaten by Elder Eldarov, and that's Elder Eldarov's only win of the year. And not only was he beaten, he was comfortably beaten. He was only ahead of Dawn Rising by 2 3/4 lengths, who's rated 105. Yes, it was a prep run coming into this. He's had plenty of issues though this year, so I think you can definitely leave him alone at 11-8. Trushan himself has had his own issues before the wind up, but hey, look, I mean, they both got, as I say, favourites chances. I'm actually going to back one at a big price because I know he's going to grab a big one if he's not retired, that is. And I just want to make sure I'm on him on the day, and that's Broome, who was a top-notch over 1.5 miles. Dylan Brown McGonigal takes the ride, who I think is an absolutely top-class jockey. His one win this year, of course, came over 2 miles in Maidan. He handles soft ground. His big Group 1 win actually came on soft ground, but I think over 2 miles on soft ground, I think if there is one to try and get through it, hopefully it'll be him. He was only beaten 4 lengths by Trushan. He weakened at Doncaster last time out. This is over 2 furlongs less. He will be there or thereabouts in one big pot, I think, soon, and hopefully it'll be this one because he's 40-1, and I think that's a pretty big price.
How do you think they're going to ride him on the day, Jack? Because obviously you've got Kyprios on here, and we know what Aidan O'Brien can do tactically within races. Do you think they'll ride him like he's, a prospect to win the race, or do you think they'll ride him to set things up for Kyprios?
No, to be fair, I think they actually might ride him quite cold. Last time out, he led The time before he was towards rear, so it would depend how they break, of course. But I think Dylan Brown McGonigal, if they're going along at a crawl, he might try and make it a test. But if not, I think he'll kind of let them lead at slow fractions and try and pick them off one by one. I think they'll ride him cold, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him lead. He's quite versatile with regards to that, so I think it'll probably be left to Dylan to choose on the day. I hope it is anyway. I hope he isn't just ridden as a Kyprios kind of just to set it up for Kyprios. So hopefully Broome will be able to be ridden cold and actually pick off the stablemate.
Yeah, look, I had it down as he could be a potential pace angle personally, and I thought that, you know, I think you're right. I think Broome is a massive price in here, and I've got a feeling he'll go out from the front, and it'll be interesting to see what happens when horses go out in front, and, you know, whether they can stay there for the rest of the card. But if Broome were to go out in front, I think he just sets it up for Kyprios. I know he's a short price, and he's not a horse I'm going to be piling into on the day, but I just do think he's going to improve so much from that run. He's come off such a long layoff. Aidan O'Brien, you know, I thought it was a decent run actually in the Irish St. Ledger. I thought it was a very strong run considering how long he'd been off the track. We know what he did in the Cadran on soft ground last year. We know how impressive that was. We know he can perform at Ascot. I'm not going to be piling into him. I'm going to be taking on Trushan. I've always said on here, I've never really been a massive fan of Trushan. I know he's lovable, he's been in training for so long, but I've just never ever wanted to back this horse, and I won't be doing so again on Saturday. So I do think Kyprios will win. It won't be a big play stake on me for the day, but it'll be Kyprios for me. But I do agree, Jack's selection of Broome each way at 40 to 1 is a cracker of a price in the Long Distance Cup. Let's move on then to the British Champions Sprint Stakes as a Group 1 over 6 furlongs here. Whether this could end up being run on the round course, I mean, it's not out of the question, but it could end up happening, who knows. Kinross is 7 to 4, The Dream is 13 to 2, Millstream is 8 to 1, 17 to 2 about Sondrine, Rohan and Spycatch 12 to 1, 16 to 1, bar these. Now, Kinross is obviously the interesting one. We didn't know if Kinross was ever going to turn up for this race. The soft grounds turned up and they've decided to take the chance here. They possibly could still go to the Breeders' Cup in a couple of weeks. It just depends how much of a hard race he has. He was very unlucky out in Longchamp over Arc Weekend. Obviously was beaten. Whether that was a fair race, I don't know. I've watched it back many a time, and whether Maxime Guillon did the right thing, who knows? I mean, you have your own opinions on that, especially if you'd back Kinross that day. But look, he's 7 to 4 here. He's won the race last year. He'll love the ground, and Frankie Dettori's on board. We haven't even mentioned it yet, but it is supposedly his last day racing in Britain this Saturday. So this is probably his best chance of having a winner. He has got some other chances on the card, but I think this is his best chance of having a winner. The Dream is going to be my selection in the race. Now, I'm not going to after time or anything like this, but as soon as I saw the rain come, I did back this horse on Sunday at 25s. Only because I saw... No, don't... Just be quiet, let me talk.
Sorry, I'm going to after time and then goes in after times. That's horrendous.
No, because I'm not going to after time later on in the preview. I'm not going to go at after time later on in the preview, but I did have to back this horse. I didn't tweet it. If you want to come for me and get down in the comments and slate me as much as you want. But I still think 13-2 is a fair price. This horse, I mean, I'll give Jack some credit here after he's just tried to mug me off, but Jack actually put this horse up at a big price on Lincoln weekend, where this horse won on heavy going at Doncaster. That was a really impressive performance by winning by over 4 lengths. The only other time we've seen this horse on soft conditions at Newmarket, finished ahead of the Nunthorpe winner that day. So I know this horse loves soft ground. Things have been perfect. I was very impressed actually with this horse's last run. I thought she looked really impressive last time out, and was an excellent prep run for this. The other one I had in mind was Believing for the George Bowie stable at 22 to 1. Thought this horse absolutely loved soft ground last season. Hasn't actually run on soft ground this season as of yet. Is actually a bit unexposed as a 3-year-old, to be fair. I've got a feeling this horse could run a massive race as well. 22 to 1. I could see this horse running into the placings. But it's going to be the Dream for me, and Jack can just go on, give his selection and slate me as much as he wants.
That is the single worst thing you have said on this channel in the 2 years we've been doing.
No, I said some more ludicrous things than that.
I would rather have Gosham propaganda than you saying, I'm not going to after time, but
Okay.
I have backed her at 25 to 1.
I haven't backed her at 25 to 1. I haven't backed her at 20. I've backed her at 13 to 2. I've backed her at 13 to 2.
Oh, goodness gracious me. No, I suppose putting my Hong Kong hat on, I hope Kinross goes and wins this and then comes to the Hong Kong Mile. It'd be great to see Frankie have a famous farewell over in Hong Kong, say goodbye to everyone over here. But I'm not sure. I think he's a worthy favourite. He'll probably go off around the 2-1 mark. The Dream, look, she's way too short now. Yeah, she may have been a price, but a 13-2, she's rated 107. Come on, Sam, 13-2. Yeah, she likes soft ground. Millstream's unbeaten on soft ground, and you're getting a bigger price there for a 3-year-old that's on the up and has only have to give her £2. Related to Asymmetric, who's gone over to France and relished the soft conditions as well. I think Millstream has that kind of profile of a colt that's actually going to be able to go up and up the rankings. Yes, of course, didn't really enjoy the Sprint Cup and those quick conditions, but I mean, won pretty comfortably at Deauville on his last 2 starts before that on soft and very soft ground, 8-1. And then I completely agree with Believing. I'd say 22-1's a decent enough price for a horse that would definitely like the conditions. But no, I think one thing's for certain, the Dream's too short. I would love to see Kinross win it, but if not, hopefully it's Millstream or Believing. To be fair, no, actually, I'm not going to half-sign, but I think I back Millstream at, what, 1,000-1?
Right, okay, yeah, right. We're just, let's move on. Let's move on. I mean, it seems like we're going to end up having a match bet on the day between the Dream and Millstream because they're similar enough prices, and you know, you're just going to try and come for me on this race. I really hope the Dream wins it now. So it's the Dream for me.
She's not 32 shot.
I disagree, but that's my personal opinion. So yeah, the Dream for me, Millstream for Jack, but I think we both agree Kinross could end up just being too good in this field, but both trying to take the horse on at slightly bigger prices. Moving on then to the Qipco British Champions Fillies and Mare Stakes, another Group 1. This is the 225 there at Ascot, and it's over 1.5 miles, where free win for Frankie Dettori and Jonathan Gosden's 100-30 favourite. Jackie O is 4-1, Time Lock 11-2, Above the Curve and Blue Stocking 10-1, 12-1, and bigger about the rest of them. I'll let you go first here, Jack, but I see it being between the top 2 in the market. How did you see it?
I usually find this race a little bit of a mess. I think it always falls apart. We've seen that with Save the Last Dance not being here. But a quick question, what price do you think Save the Last Dance would be if she was here?
On the ground that we've got, probably up there with these market leaders. I don't think she'd be that much shorter. I'd be shocked. I maybe sort of 5-2.
Yeah, well, on that basis, I think at Blue Stocking at 10-1, you have to have a bet on her at that price. I mean, it was only beaten half a length for the Curragh on that day in that soft ground when she loved it. But I mean, she did look as slow as anything. I thought, Save the Last Dance that day in the Irish Oaks. But no, I mean, behind Warm Heart, easy for me to say, at Ascot as well, that form's been franked no ends that we've seen. I mean, wasn't really disgraced behind Warm Heart as well in the Yorkshire Oaks. I mean, last time out is a bit of a non-race, I'd say, at Chester behind Al Kareem. It was a bit of a weird one there. She hung right. It was all a bit odd that day. Of course, going left-handed this time around, I think would definitely suit her. She's 10-1, and I also bought Rui Boissonade a long shot last time out. I think she has another good chance. She was there, bang at the finish with Sea Silk Road in the Prix Vermeil and was 4th, not disgraced, beaten 4 lengths by Sea Silk Road when she absolutely hacked up. So I think she could go well for the French here. Of course, we like the ground as well. So I'll take 2 at a double figure price with Blue Stocking and Rui Boissonade.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go with Free Wind in here as my main selection, only due to the fact that I thought this horse would want soft ground in the Arc and would have a chance. Obviously, we know how quick it was out on Arc weekend, and John Gosden did come out and say that Frankie just gave this horse an easy time of things when he realised how much she was hating the ground. So it was almost a bit like the Inspiral thing in the Sussex, where he kind of like almost pulled her up as such and then just went, right, we're going straight for the Marwa and we'll go and win that. Reminds me a little bit of this, where they've gone, look, we're not going to win this, let's just take things easy, let's get this horse ready for the fillies and mares and hope for soft ground up against her own sex. And I don't think she's the worst price in the world. I think a lot of Frankie horses have been overbet, and that is due to the whole Frankie Dettori final day thing, but I don't think it's the worst price in the world, 130. But I have to agree with Jack. If you want one for us to agree on, I think Rui Boissonade is a fascinating contender here. And I think the one thing that Jack didn't mention there is the fact that this horse won on heavy ground at the start of the season, so will love these conditions, actually beating Blue Rosen's Pacemaker in Wise Girl, who actually ran a really big race in the Prix de Diane. when Blue Rose Sem won that. So look, her form is very good. She can be very consistent. Gerard Mosset's over. He knows the horse really well. I think this horse will run a big race at 12-1, and the French domination can start to begin from there on in on Saturday. Well, we now move on to the 305, which is the QE2, the Queen Elizabeth II Stakes, over the mile. Who knows whether it will be on the straight mile? We just don't know yet. Paddington tops the market at 6-4. Should be running here. Tahira, we're not 100% sure on as of yet, is 9-2. Nashwa is 5-1. Big Rock is 15-2. Chaldean is 11-1. 14-1 about Factor Cheval, and 22-1. And bigger the rest. Well, I'll start here. Shall I? I can't remember. Did I actually put Big Rock up for the QE2 in our anti-post preview, or was it just Horizon Door? Can't remember.
I'm not sure. I know you definitely put on the double.
Yeah, on Twitter. I don't know whether I put this horse up on YouTube, but for those who did see, I tweeted out the double. Jack and I both agree with Horizon Door. We'll talk about that in a bit. But I put up Big Rock as well. They both ran on the same weekend a month or so back, and I said I wouldn't be backing them at short price today, but I backed them for the respective races on Champions Day. And Big Rock now turns up here for the head team. This isn't me just talking about head horses because, you know, it's a head horse. I actually do think this horse has a mega chance. The ground has come completely right for this horse. You can't look. You've got to look at his form and just go, he's got to be up there in the first, three here at least, because he's going to lead. He's going to enjoy conditions. He's going to make this a test for a lot of these horses. You're going to watch them come off the bridle one by one. If this is run on the straight track, it is never easy to make all on the straight track at Ascot, but he just has this power to just keep driving all the way to the line. Look at the horses that have beat him. Like, he's been unlucky. Ace Impact goes and wins the Arc. In Spiral goes and wins a Group 1 next time up by 6+ lengths, and then was beaten by Saturn, who was in the form of her life that day. I've got a feeling that Big Rock could run a huge race here. It was 14-1 a few days ago. It's now 15-2 with this heavy ground coming. I don't think this is the worst price in the world. And the other one that's overpriced is Factor Cheval, another French runner. It's 14-1 with Miguel Barcelona on board, who could be in for an excellent day. This horse was second behind Paddington in the Sussex on soft conditions. Was keen, came out the stalls poorly, was keen all the way round. Didn't get the clearest of run in the straight. I'm not saying would have beaten Paddington, but would have finished a lot closer for sure. And if Paddington's 6-4 and this horse is 14-1 on heavy going, I'll tell you what, I'd rather be backing Factor Cheval each way. So we know I like my French racing, but I genuinely do, with my head, think that Big Rock and Factor Cheval, the French raiders, have got a mega chance here, Jack, and I don't know what kind of agreement you might have here.
No, to be fair, I think you're bang on. I'll be the first one to tell you when I think you're speaking rubbish when it comes to French form. I think you're absolutely bang on there. You have been going on about Big Rock for the QE2 for God knows how long. You've been messaging me on WhatsApp saying back him at 25s, 16s, 14s. I'll let you take this bit of after timing because you have got it spot on. The conditions have come absolutely perfect for him. Look, he's just as consistent as they come. He's so uncomplicated. He gets sent forward. He tries to gallop him into submission. He was beaten 3 lengths by Ace Impact. Was about 3 lengths clear of Mahaba Yarsanafi over a trip which wasn't his best. It's a cracking bit of form. I mean, you look at it, as you said, the likes of Horizon Door and Spiral. Saturn was probably the disappointing one for me. I think he probably should have won that, but I don't think conditions were quite in his favour that day. I know the ground says good to soft. I think it was probably a little bit better than that on the time. So hopefully he does go and win. I know Paddington is Paddington, but he's had... I almost think it's a little bit hypocritical me saying he's had a long season, but I just feel like he's had a bit of a tougher season than Big Rock. I feel like Big Rock's a little bit more hardy, battle hardened, whereas I think Paddington looked a little bit not that. I know he won a gritty Sussex Stakes in soft ground, but I'd definitely be wanting to take him on, and I'd take him on with both Nashua and Big Rock. I'd have win bets on both. Nashua was just ridiculously impressive at Newmarket in the Falmouth, and I know they said the ground was good. It wasn't good. The rain had come. The ground was good to soft, even on the soft side that day. She's been as versatile as anything this year. I think she's been an absolute superstar. To then finish third in the NASA, and then the second in the Judgment, and then finished very close up, staying on half a length third in the Irish Champions Stakes. I think she's been an absolute superstar. She's 5-1. It's a shame Holly Doyle's missing the Breeders' Cup, but hopefully Paddington gets overturned, and I'll be on Nashua and Big Rock to hopefully cause the upset.
Okay, Nashwa. Yeah, Nashwa is my main danger. I'm more worried about Nashwa than I am Paddington. So I think Nashwa is a fair bet there at 5-1. I mean, just as you started speaking there, Jack, you had a couple of texts come through. I don't know if that was Christopher Head texting you, just saying, can you tell Sam to stop backing my horses? Because when I tweeted out on Arc Weekend, saying I'm not backing Blue Rose Sem, but I hope she goes and wins, she went and won. Got a call from Christopher Head to then tell me maybe you should stop backing my horses more often because they seem to run better. Was that what you got? Was that the text?
Yeah, it was. He said, thank God for the World Cup, because hopefully the French horses will get forgotten, is what he said. So you've got away with it, I think.
Okay, so yeah, Jack's going to be with Nashwa and Big Rock. I'm going to be with Big Rock and Factor Cheval in the QE2. Moving on to the big one on the day. I wouldn't say it's the best race on the card, but it's often known as the highlight of the card, is the 345, which is the Qipco Champions Stakes over 10 furlongs. This is another Group 1 where Horizon Door, I've got it down here as a 3-1 favourite, maybe slightly shorter with most bookmakers. King of Steel 4-1, bBritish 9-2, Mostadaf, I'd be so shocked if this runs 7-1, Via Sistina 8-1, My Prospero is 12-1, Royal Rhyme 14s, Dubai Honour is 28-1, that's a big price. Point Lonsdale is 66-1. Horizon Door, first of all, this was our only joint selection in our autumn anti-post flat campaign selections. At 20-1, we were both very confident on this horse, the Patrice Cotier runner. Barcelona takes the ride. Those who have been fans of the Next Gen Racing channel for a long time, a couple of years ago, will remember Jack and I agreeing at a double figure price was the time, 12-1 on the day, on seal away for this race. Not the best ever winner of a Champion Stakes, but still went and got the job done with the same jockey and the same owners. And I think they'll do the same again. This horse was what won the last 4 on the bounce. I know has an excellent turn of foot, and I know may appreciate good ground, but this horse does have form on heavy. Was second by 5 lengths to Big Rock, but ran a mighty race there. Now all I can say with this horse is RPRs is he's just improved and improved and improved, run from run. He's looked better than ever. He didn't have a hard race in the pre-dollar. He came from the back, but Barcelona gave him a couple of taps and went hands and heels. He knew he had that race won when he passed about 3 of his rivals, it seemed. He knew what this horse could do. I don't want him to sit too far back in the field in a race like this, just due to the fact that it will take some getting to the front, I think. I think you're going to want to sit kind of midfield. I just hope that he doesn't ride this horse too cold on the day and ends up coming to the straight with a test and struggles. But I think he's got a mega chance. I think Frankie's horse King of Steel's over bet. I know he won a soft ground maiden, I think, as a 2-year-old. But I wouldn't say he's going to absolutely love the ground. The main danger has to be last year's winner, bBritish, doesn't it? He comes in here in good form. He loves the race. He's going to love the ground. Sir Michael Stout at Ascot, 9-2, maybe not the worst price in the world for a win bet. And Dubai Honour is such a big price at 28-1. Like, Jack, I know you've been a massive fan of this horse, so I will let you talk a bit about Dubai Honour. But am I right in saying that 28-1 might be a bit too big about Dubai Honour?
Yeah, I think you can make a case for quite a few at a big price here. I know we're both big fans of Horizon Door, and I think anything's going to have to be seriously, seriously good, especially those older than 3, to give £4 away to him. He travels so strongly. He has a turn of foot. He's a relentless galloper. He'll like the ground. I mean, I think he's perfectly placed here. I'd love to see him go and do it, but we have seen hot pots get turned over in this. Let's not forget Baid last year, for instance. Can't see Mostadaf running. I make him probably 50-1 on to not run here. bBritish is the danger. Going to the Arc, is that going to be a slight hindrance? I'd probably say yes.
Would you say the 3 weeks, though, just quickly, the 3 weeks that is, because usually it's 2, it's now 3 weeks, I think it's been between the Arc. Is that might be a beneficiary for him?
It might be, but there's one thing with bBritish. Don't get me wrong, I love bBritish. I thought he ran an absolute cracker in the Arc on ground, which went completely against him. He was only beaten 6 lengths back in the 6th. I thought it was a cracking run. But there's one thing, and it could be for 1 or 2 reasons, is if you look at his campaigns back in the past, he had 2 runs, then a long break, 2 runs and a long break, 2 runs and a long break, then 3, and the third on that was when he probably is most disappointing, when he was 5th of 6 in the Coral Eclipse. Then just had a big break as well, and then, of course, won the Champion Stakes. Then this season had 3 runs, the last of which was at Ascot when he was 5th of 6 in the Prince of Wales. And now he's had 2 runs and he's having his quick third again. I don't think he likes to be turned around so quickly. It could have been down to the ground because it was good to firm ground on both of those runs respectively, but I think he's got something to prove. It looks like he likes to have a bit of time to recover and have one run just to get himself going, and then puts in his career best, or sorry, not career best, but season best performance. So I think this could take, I think the Arc probably has taken it out of him. I mean, we know he loves the ground. If he came to this without going to the Arc, I think it'd probably be a point or two shorter. I would love to see him go well. Of course, I'd love to see him second to Horizon Door, mind you. But of course, we have put up Horizon Door 2 at a price. Royal Rhyme, I think, has a chance. Will love the ground, absolutely love the ground. Very progressive 3-year-old. I know he only beat Pride of America by a length and a half, but I thought it was worth more than that.
It was.
Made up many lengths in the straight. Then when it looked like he was going to be up against it at one point, and of course he absolutely hacked up on soft ground at Goodwood. But the only one I'm going to put up, I suppose, because we've already put up Horizon Dawn, I think he has a great chance.
Oh, don't do what, if you do what I think you're going to do.
I am going to do it, actually. We've already put Horizon Door up, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be a scumbag and put 2 up at a ridiculous price. Royal Rhyme will be one of them. I think he's going to love the ground. And the other one is Point Lonsdale. And I know I'm going to put him up once this season in the King George, when he was beaten 30 lengths or 29 lengths by Hookham. But he's got Ryan Moore on today. It's slightly different.
It's not Brian's only entry in the race. Of course he's got Ryan Moore on.
Yeah, I know, but when's Ryan Moore been on him before? At Chester, when he won on soft ground, and when he was by no means disgraced over a mile and a half in the Coronation Cup, not to mention his 2-year-old season when he won 3 of the 4 races, bar Native Trail. He just loves a mile and a quarter on soft ground. He's a full brother to Broome. He's completely forgotten about just because he hasn't had the greatest of seasons. He was beaten 3 lengths in the Irish Champions Stakes. 3 lengths. He was 2.5 lengths behind King of Still here, and he's 62 points bigger than him. He is still capable on his day. That was his best run of the year. He made decent fractions. The ground was still too quick for him. It's going to be softer here over a mile and a quarter. He's 66 to 1. Wouldn't be surprised if he drifts to 80 to 1 on the day as well. Point Lonsdale, hopefully you go well. Ryan Moore's on board for the first time since the Coronation Cup, and he is 66 to 1, Sam. So if Horizon Door doesn't win and Point Lonsdale pips him on the line, I can only apologise for my celebrations.
Well, I don't know, because you've backed Horizon Door as well, so look, you can cheer on both of them. But I just, if Point Lonsdale wins the race, and I'll give you the money myself. But yeah, Horizon Door is the one for me. That's the one I'm going to go with, and I will have a small each way play. Now I've got the 20 to 1 on the by honour for the William Haggis stable. This horse has run well in this race before, and I just know that William Haggis likes to target this race with some nice horses, and My Prospero has also got a fair chance, but I will be taking on the rest of them ahead of them, bar Horizon Door. Let's make things really difficult, shall we? Actually, this could be a bit of a deja vu for you. It wouldn't surprise me if the horse you put up is who I think it's going to be. The 425 is the Balmoral handicap over a mile. Again, who knows if this is going to be the straight mile or not. Docklands is the 6 to 1 favourite. Sunny Liston is 7 to 1. Baradar is 8 to 1. Migration is 8 to 1. Almabeer is 12 to 1. Roscollin, who will love this ground, is 14 to 1. A 16s. Bar these. I said Roscollin will like the ground is for the same combination of the winners last year. I've just remembered is Shaleer won it last year with Jason Watson on board for the David O'Mara stable at 80 to 1. But this horse Roscollin's been loving Goodwood this season on soft ground. 14s might look quite big on the day. I'm going to guess that you might put up a horse here, Jack, because of how the ground's gone. And this horse gave you a big payday at the start of the season. Is this horse going to give you a big payday at the end of the season? And it's Migration, isn't it?
It is. It begins with M and ends in Migration.
Yeah, I knew it would.
Yeah, it was always going to happen, wasn't it? He's been so lightly campaigned this year and saved for a big day like this. I mean, yeah, he gave no account whatsoever in the Gordon Richard Stakes, but it was a bit of a run out of the blue because it was delayed by a week. I think the prep didn't really go right for him, but it was so impressive with Benoit on board in the Lincoln, wasn't he? And if you look back at the Lincoln this year, it's just a very good race. Awal's been in there, who's been placing in listed company. Baradar has gone back-to-back recently. Majestic's by no means a mug. Almabeer, likewise, who's running in listed company these days. I mean, even Greg Dadian won a Class 4 last time out. So, no, it has been a very good race this year. Migration's going to love the ground. He's burdening top weight, which does put a lot of people off. Of course it would, but he's carrying 10 stone 1. Benoit's on board, who seems to be as cool as anything. He's had a good break, which he did have before winning the Lincoln. He's probably, I'd like to see him at double-figure price, to be fair, but Baradar's going to love the ground, and Migration's going to love the ground, and I think he is a good bet at 8 to 1.
Okay, yeah, look, Migration. I can see it, and I can see the case. A complete can. Been well supported as well. Top weight in the race, but Migration this just has to have been the plan, hasn't it? The way that they've campaigned this horse so lightly, they've just had this race in mind for so long. And 8-1 with Benoit de la Salle. Doesn't get to claim this time around, but he gets along on the horse so well. Horse I'm going to be with has got to be probably the most unlucky horse in the field. It's 7-1. It's Ryan Moore and it's Sonny Liston. Now Ryan Moore has he's had so much bad luck on this horse. It really has. If you go back to Ascot, where this horse finished behind the owner's other string of Jimi Hendrix in the Royal Hunt Cup, was on the wrong side, but won his group that side. Then you've got to go and look at the run last time out at Doncaster. Oh my word! If you'd backed this horse there, it was around 7-2. I think the price was on the day. I was there at Doncaster. I was actually with some of the connections of Chelsea Thoroughbreds, and this horse hit the front in really good style. Just looked like it was going to go on and win by about 4 or 5 lengths against Liberty Lane from the Carl Burke stable. Went past the horse, and then suddenly Liberty Lane's come back, and I'm thinking, how on earth has this happened? Like, this is just crazy. But it was due to the fact that Ryan Moore, he got his whip, from what I know, tangled in his reins and wasn't able to see out the finish as strong as he'd like. Now, Ryan Moore has been desperate to take the ride on this horse once again. He could have been on Broadhurst, because Broadhurst was originally entered into this race, and I thought, Ryan Moore's not going to get the ride, but he's on this horse. I think 7-1 is a fair enough price as a win bet in the race. And the other one, I've already mentioned it, but I think Roscollin just has to be a bet on soft ground at 14-1. This horse's form is all on soft ground. Everything he produces, I know, you can look at him now. I mean, I'm looking at his form now. He's run over 10 times this season, but when he's been running at Goodwood on soft ground, he's been winning in easy style. I've got a feeling he'll come to Ascot. If they run it on the round course, it might actually suit him. But even on the straight course, last year's combination of Jason Watson and David O'Mara, 14-1's too big. So I'll tell you what, I'll have 2 win bets in the race and in each way, but I'll have Migration and Sonny Liston, Jack, and I'm going to have Roscollin each way. And you're just going to have all your eggs in one basket. Are you on Migration?
No, yeah, it will be just Migration, but I really like the Sonny Liston. Yeah, it was a yes, no, maybe so then. It will just be Migration, but I really like the Sonny Liston case you made.
Yeah, Sonny Liston, yeah, I think, yeah. It's a handicap, isn't it? Going with the top of the market might seem boring, but I just think that's the way it's probably going to pay out this Saturday. Now, we will get a nap for the card. We'll get a best bet. Maybe if we want, no, let's just get a nap. Let's get a nap. Who's going to be the best bet on Champions Day for you, Jack? Taking away the 20-1 on Horizon Door. We won't include Horizon Door, but we've had the 20-1. What else is there?
A captain simply must always go down with his ship. It is Horizon Door in the Champions Stakes at 11-4, 5-2, 2-1, you name it.
I just said you can't do that. Do something else. Everyone knows that we've backed Horizon Door. We've both napped up Horizon Door at 20-1 on anti-post preview. Whatever you want to say, give us something else.
Okay, if you want it, we can take Point Lonsdale to take him on.
Just stick with Horizon Door, actually, on second thoughts. I'm going to stick away from Horizon Door. I'm going to put up Big Rock. I've got to do it. 15-2 currently is his price, but I'll have to time again, so I've backed him at bigger prices. But yeah, 15-2 on Big Rock is still a worthy price. I think some bookmakers actually went 5-1 yesterday on this horse. I wouldn't surprise me if it actually does go off 5-1. Even if Tahira comes, I might even go off even shorter than that. But I'll have Big Rock in the QE2. That was actually quite a fun preview. A bit of stick between us. Yeah, in good form. Actually, it was quite nice catching up with you out in Hong Kong, to be fair.
Yeah, to be fair, I think I'm going delirious. It's the early hours of the morning, so I think it's just the fact I'm going delirious and listening to you after time from 3,000 miles away means I can't put my hands around your neck like I usually can on Champions Day.
No, I've just got to prepare myself for the next few weeks. I've got to start looking at jump sources once again, and I'm going to have Shartin and Happy Valley tips flying through to my inbox. So I can guarantee we're probably going to actually get a couple as well on these previews when we ever do them, kind of leading up to the end of the year. So do look out for them. Jack's probably going to have something at Shartin on a Sunday.
You're lucky I have to put one up for the Premier Bowl this weekend at Shartin.
Have you had a look, or have you got anything for us to mention on that, or?
I think Lucky Swayness, Hong Kong's premier sprinter, will probably win the bowl. Unfortunately, he won't be too big of a price. Unfortunately,
lovely. The favourite will win the race out in Hong Kong. Lovely.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
It's
there we go.
lots of
That
fun.
was the end of the British flat season for us here on the Next Gen Racing YouTube channel. We are going to be back for more flat action for the Breeders' Cup in a couple of weeks. Is it a couple of weeks? Yeah, a couple of weeks. It is a couple of weeks.
It is.
We're going to be back for that. We'll be previewing both the Friday and the Saturday, the big races on those cards there, so do look forward to that. Let us know down in the comments, as always, who you're going to be backing on Champions Day. Shame Jack's not going to be there with me, but if you are there on Saturday, do come over and say hello. If Horizon Doors won, please come over. You probably end up getting a glass of something, but yeah, look forward to seeing plenty of you there. It's going to be a really good day. Hopefully the rain stays away, and until then, we will see you on Breeders' Cup Preview Day. Thanks for watching.